Dear students, you are welcome to this session. I am by name Kiden Robina, and I will still take you through this unit. Today, we are going to look at blood hemostasis. By definition, hemostasis is defined as arrest or stoppage of bleeding. It can also be defined as the arrest of blood flow and control of hemorrhage from an injured blood vessel, or is the process by which blood is kept in fluid medium within the vascular system. So as long as the blood is contained within the blood vessels, we term it as hemostasis. So the process occurs in 3 stages. We have vasoconstriction, platelet plug formation, coagulation of blood. So right there we have a pictorial showing how the whole thing happens. So let us look at vasoconstriction. Vasoconstriction is purely a local phenomenon. So when the blood vessels are cut, the endothelium is damaged and hence collagen is exposed. So we looked at the layers of the blood vessels and we said that we have not yet looked at it, but we shall look at it in future. So the layers of blood vessels are 3. We have the outermost layer, then the inner, then the innermost. So the collagen is found in the inner layer or the medium. So when it is cut, because it is containing the collagen is exposed. So platelets adhere to this collagen and get activated. The activated platelets secrete serotonin and other vasoconstrictor substances which cause constriction of blood vessels. So let us look at platelet plaque formation. Platelets adhere to collagen of ruptured blood vessel and secrete adenosine diphosphate, which can be referred to as the ADP and the thromboxane A2. These two substances attract more and more platelets and activate them. So all these activated platelets aggregate together and form a loose temporary platelet plug, which fills in the hole that has been cut. So, which closes the ruptured vessel and prevents further blood loss. So, we should also note that platelet aggregation is accelerated by platelet activating factor. So, coagulation of blood. During this process, fibrinogen is converted into fibrin. Fibrin, fibrin threads get attached to the loose platelet plug, which blocks the ruptured part of the of blood vessels and it prevents further blood loss completely. So coagulation occurs through 2 pathways, that is the intrinsic pathway and the extrinsic pathway. So let us look at the intrinsic pathway. The intrinsic pathway is induced by trauma to blood or exposure of blood to collagen from the injured blood vessel wall. Coagulation through intrinsic pathway involves the following. We have the contact phase, the activation of factor X, then conversion of prothrombin to thrombin, then formation of fibrin clot. Intrinsic pathway, we continue with it. So injured blood vessel wall exposes collagen to blood and this automatically activates the factor 12 into factor 12A. Factor 12A then proteolytically activates factor 11 into factor 11A. Activated factor 11A then activates factor 9 to factor 9A in presence of calcium ions. So activated factor 9A with the factor 8, platelet phospholipids, and calcium. Also activate factor 10 into factor 10A on the surface of the platelets. So this is almost self-explanatory. I don't need to put more words on it. So to continue, we have to note that once activated, factor 10 into factor 10M has been formed. So both intrinsic and extrinsic pathways of coagulation follow the same route. For instance, factor 10A, factor 5, calcium, calcium ions, and platelet phospholipids convert prothrombin to thrombin. Then thrombin cleaves fibrinogen into fibrin monomers. Fibrin monomers combine laterally to form fibrin polymers, which is now termed as the clot that you normally see after a little while when you get hurt. So the extrinsic pathway is initiated by trauma to extravascular tissues that activate tissue factor from damaged tissues. In presence of calcium ions, factor 7 binds to tissue factor, and this complex proteolytically activates factor 9 and factor 10 to factor 10A. So once factor 10A is available, extrinsic and intrinsic pathways follow the same route. That is factor 10A, factor 5, then calcium ions and platelet phospholipids convert prothrombin to thrombin, like we had mentioned in the intrinsic pathway. Then the thrombin cleaves fibrinogen into fibrin monomers. Then fibrin monomers combine laterally to form fibrin polymer, which is now the clot. So you can see that after that, the pathway is the same. So right there, we have a pictorial which demonstrates whatever that I have been talking about. So as you can see those arrows, we have the stages, stage 1 and stage 2. Unfortunately, stage 2 is not seen. There's stage 2 and stage 3. So you can download this somewhere and read it properly. So clot retraction, stroke repair, blood clots in the right places prevent loss of blood from ruptured vessels, but in the wrong place can cause problems. For example, can end up causing stroke. So if you are cut by a knife and the clotting process is activated, then a clot is formed. That is well and good because no much blood is going to be lost. But if these factors are activated and the blood is formed within the blood vessels, then it can lead to complications such as stroke. So following hemostasis, the following phases occur to heal and repair the site of injury. One of them, we have tightening of clot. Contraction of platelets trapped within clot shrinks fibrin meshwork, pulling edges of damaged vessel closer together. Over time, the clot is dissolved and replaced with normal tissue, and that is how it disappears. Then we have the other processes, fibrinolysis. So in fibrinolysis, the plasminogen or the plasma protein is activated by factors to become plasmin. So plasmin breaks down fibrin meshwork. Then phagocytic white blood cells remove the clot products by disinfection, and as a result, the area that has been cut becomes smooth again, though the area will still have what is called the scar. Thank you so much for being part of this. I wish you well.